Real quick, I want to touch on you. You mentioned something about feeling like you're people's therapist now, and you gotta like we talked about it earlier. You helping them change their mindset. So I want to go back to you and your experience with therapy. I want to know what took you there. What made you say that this is something I need to do? The benefits that you found from it, and then I want to see what's your opinion on why our people are so scared to do it.
So I'll be honest. My breaking point was the day before I went on leave. I had to physically restrain myself from coming across the table at this woman.
Say that.
Physically. And I literally held on to the handles of my chair and I said, I need someone to call human resources now because I want them present. On that day, when I realized that I had lost control emotionally and that I felt a desire to physically harm someone, I needed to get help. Because the way that this woman talked to me, she felt entitled to. She felt like she could for whatever reason. And because of that, the respect that I had given her up until that point, I wanted to touch her. I just wanted to put hands on her.
Bless you. Bless you.
But
hallelujah.
I wanted to touch her. I wanted to let her know. I wanted her to feel me. And at that point, it was a Friday. I simply packed up my things and I went home. And everything from there went downhill. It was my demeanor had changed. My attitude had changed. It was something in my soul that was stirring that said that I needed her to understand. I needed her to feel me. But then I took that home and I kept taking that home. And I have kids at home and they didn't do anything to me to deserve the cold shoulder that I gave them. And because of my journey and my self reflection and understanding that I needed to do better in so many ways, I figured I needed to fix it because it wasn't their fault. And I was being of no use to them. I was going home and laying down because I felt so defeated, because I felt like the microaggressions in the workplace, the privilege that was displayed, the lack of accountability, all of the things that were not at fault of mine were taking a toll on me. So I immediately called EAP. Most employers have an EAP line, and that's their resources that will provide you financial advice, crisis advice. They'll give you resources and tools. And for me, the tool that I needed at that time was 3 free therapy sessions. So I didn't have to use my benefits. I just needed to call them and get a referral. And when I sat down and talked to the therapist that they connected me with, they said, what's more important, your mental well-being or the job? And I thought about it. And, my first thought was, it's the job because I got a family to support. So they brought it to my attention that if you are not mentally well and you happen to break down, do you know your job will be posted tomorrow and you'll be somewhere in the hospital? And it was an awakening for me. So I continued to talk through what it was that I was feeling, because at that point, this was the height of Black Lives Matter. This was at the height of, the conversations about equality. These were having conversations about what it looked like for workplace violence that wasn't necessarily physically violent. And all of those things rang true for my experience. And I had my doctor write a note and take me off of work.